To compensate for the custom PC giveaway that was only available to USA and Canada residents, I'm now doing a $100 Steam gift card giveaway available to anyone in the world. If you're interested, be sure to enter in the description down below. Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, and welcome to Unturned 3.17.9. This week we got some really cool changes to the landscape and terrain system that opens up a ton of new opportunities. As I said last week and the week before, Nelson has been working on improvements over the past few weeks rather than adding things on things that needed improvement in the first place. And this week is a prime example of these improvements coming together to bring something great. Hopefully this will be used heavily in the Hawaii map. I can't wait to see how it's going to be used. But for now, I'd like to show you guys some of the features that come alongside these new landscape changes, and Nelson was kind enough to put together a nice dev test map that showcases all of these. So let's go check it out. Alright, so here we are on the dev test map, and you'll notice that there is a hole in the ground. You don't want to get too close to it because, yep, that'll happen. But what this allows you to do is create tunnels like underground metro stations and things along those lines without having to just dig a massive hole and then just put the entire metro station here. You can just have an entrance like this. Now this does look weird, so one example that Nelson has is kind of enclosing the edges with, or at least making it natural by covering it all up with rocks like so. So as you can see here, imagine like these rocks continued into a massive cave. That would be really cool. And then you'll notice, you have the grass over here, grass, it stops here, rocks, and then this would be basically the entrance to a massive underground tunnel. Or perhaps it could be a huge arch to where you can fly a plane through the ground and then come out the other side. Things like that. Really cool ideas there. This allows tunnels to be made just through complete mountains like this. I mean, this is really cool. So before, whenever you see a tunnel in Unturned, you'll notice that above it, there's a bunch of rocks or usually some fake grass up there, and you can't really build it very tall without it looking unnatural because you would have to have the mountain go over here, down, up here, and then back up, and then you'd have to fill in the space to make it look natural. Now you can just quite literally tunnel through a mountain. As you can see here, Nelson has this cool tunnel tunneling straight through this super tall mountain all the way up here, and the terrain works perfectly fine right here. Very cool. So that's one example of a change. Also, there was a new feature to the terrain. It's called triplanar mapping. It allows these textures to be mapped on all three planes rather than just on one. So for example, with this graphics option disabled, because it can only be mapped horizontally, as a result, vertical faces, the textures here, they go up here, and the instant they start going up to this mountain, they just stretch all the way up, and it looks weird. Triplanar mapping allows you to map that texture on a vertical surface, and as a result, it looks a lot better. So for example, on Hawaii, I would imagine that there'd be a lot of verticality on that map because it's a massive volcano. So I'd imagine these coming to great use, and then also all these caves. Once again, I mean, in the update post, the original update post of Hawaii, they were talking about such a great focus on underwater and underground locations. That will allow it to be even fancier. Now, another thing, I'm going to have to go up on the top of the mountain to show you guys this, but the way the new landscape feature works is basically your map is divided into tiles. So for example, this can kind of be one tile right here, and Nelson decided to put this Russia grass in this tile. But then also he expanded a tile in that direction that allowed him to change to that biome, the dead zone looking biome. And then he can add another biome to where perhaps it would have snow over there. And then also your map doesn't even have to be square anymore. So you'll notice that this is a square map right here. That's a corner, that's a corner, that's a corner, and then of course that's a corner. But Nelson added some tiles beyond that. So now it goes over here, and then he added a tile over there, all the way over there. So he added a ledge. That's the edge of a new tile right here. He can add a tile right there that might be a snow biome. Like for example, you can basically make your map however big you want it. In regards to each individual tile, you're basically just limited to 8 materials total. So you can have grass, gravel, dirt, sand, maybe road, and then also some various other textures. But the instant you reach 8, you'll have to remove textures in order to add more into this specific tile. Or if you want to have a new set of textures, add a new tile, and you can have an entirely new palette of textures to choose from there. This is really cool. So I just love how you don't even have to have a square map anymore. You can kind of make it whatever shape you want it to. So that is super cool. The entire landscape system has been completely overhauled. This is going to allow awesome maps and even more excitement for the upcoming Hawaii map. Now, that is kind of the huge thing this week. There was one also pretty cool thing that you'll be able to notice over on the Yukon map, or any kind of map with snow on it. Really excited to show you guys this one. It's really basic, but it just looks really cool. So first off, we have actual snowflakes falling from the sky, new snow particles, but one of the other cool things is when you look down on the ground, we have sparkly snow. Look at that. It's so cool. It actually looks really interesting up close. It's mesmerizing to look at. But anyway, when you're walking out in the distance, it really sells the effect of it being snow. It's all sparkly in the sun. That's really cool. Now, for those of you panicking about this possibly ruining your FPS, you can always turn that off if you like. Now, before, this is what it looked like. It's so basic. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It almost doesn't even look like snow with that. Well, why does it have rock? Has it always been like that? Anyway, punching it makes a rock sound. Must be like ice, I guess. Anyway, graphics options, turning snow glitter back on. Really cool. It really sells it as snow. So that's one thing that's also coming along, these new terrain changes. And then also two minor things that were added in this week's update. One was kind of a bug fix in that puddles no longer go underwater. Before, you guys may have noticed that during rainstorms there would be puddles underwater. I thought it was very funny actually, but now that's all gone. You'll notice that the puddles stop and they do not generate beneath sea level. That's pretty cool. And then also, for those of you who make sky bases, I come with unfortunate news for you. I think it's pretty common knowledge that they are just simply too easy to create for how powerful they are. All you need to do is just build one massive wall all the way up to the skybox, put a door at the bottom, sit inside the door and hold space all the way up to the top. Now that elevator glitch does not work anymore. If you want to build a sky base, you're going to have to build it the way you should, which is using staircases or ladders to go all the way up to the top. As I think it should be. I think sky bases are extremely powerful because you'll need basically a helicopter or a plane to actually raid your base, and I think you should have to put in a lot of effort in order to actually do that. But anyway, that does pretty much wrap up everything that was added in Unturned 3.17.9.0. Some super exciting things coming alongside in regards to map making. Are you guys excited as well? Let me know in the comment section down below. That is all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish because MeLikeBigBoom is out.